Hello, kia ora. I'm John Roberts, and welcome to a special edition of Kukicast, the podcast that's all about the Cook Islands. No guests this time, but plenty of other voices, as I delve into and reflect on the past, present and future of the islands.
Welcome and kia ora to the Bible.
Te Mava Nui, a colourful cacophony of music, dance and drumming, celebrating the culture and pride of a country and its people, and each year marking the day when the Cook Islands became a self-governing nation. Now, as the islands prepare for the 60th anniversary of that special day in history, this is an early birthday card, sent with love. Let us begin. With those three words, the first Prime Minister, Albert Royal Henry, ushered in the new era in his inaugural address to the nation on the 4th of August 1965. And it was an era islanders had voted overwhelmingly for in the first elections under self-government a few months earlier.
The decisive general election was held on April 20th, 1965. The government to be elected by the votes of all men and women over 18 will decide whether to amend, reject, or accept the proposed constitution for self-government in the Cook Islands. 8,000 people voted, 93% of the electorate, proving that we have a lively interest in the political future of our island home. Polling stations were crowded all day, and it was well into the night before electoral officers, in company with the United Nations observer, began counting the votes. Polling figures from the 12 electorates were relayed to the waiting crowd at Avarua and broadcast to New Zealand and the outer islands.
It had been a long and somewhat arduous road to self-government, spanning 77 years. In 1901, Governor-General Lord Ranthurley annexed the islands as an extension to the British colony of New Zealand. There had been a British protectorate since 1888, and New Zealand continued to administer the Cooks until that election in 1965. Albert Henry said it was now up to the people of the Cook Islands to show they'd made the right decision.
It now remains for us to prove to the world that our choice was the correct one. And in the belief that each subscribes to the common good, the government of the Cook Islands will advance confidently under collective leadership, individual responsibility, and public participation. So help me God.
This was a very different Cook Islands from today, largely isolated from the world, and little changed for decades, as a 1950s documentary explained.
Leaving Avarua, a number of little roads run into the centre of the island, and the sea's soon lost to view as the dense tropical bush closes in. The roads, some of them dwindling to mere tracks, wind round to native villages, usually neat collections of huts built of leaves from the pandanus palm and coconut wood. Round this one there's plenty of activity, but it's quite usual to see an entire village deserted during the working hours of the day while all its population works in the field.
But Albert Henry was a man with a vision. And the 5,000-foot airstrip built on Rarotonga by New Zealand at the end of World War II was one piece of land where that vision was particularly far-reaching. Prop aircraft used it, and the weekly flight from Wellington, New Zealand brought a few adventurous tourists, but Henry dreamed of big planes coming to the country and saw that as a way of transforming the tiny nation and ending its isolation. On the morning of the 29th of January 1974, his dream came true. Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, the island's head of state, made her only visit to open a new terminal and runway which could handle the latest jet aircraft. The crowd came from all over the South Pacific, and Henry told them, To us Cook Islanders, this airport promises to be a stepping stone in our journey to economic self-sufficiency. And to the Queen he said, "Today you have given the Cook Islands a place on the map, as well as in the whole Pacific itself." Just 4 years later, Tom Davis was installed as Prime Minister after an election petition found Albert Henry had corruptly used government money to fly in hundreds of voters to secure a majority in a snap election he had called about total independence from New Zealand. In 1979, Davis replaced the national flag introduced by Henry with today's version. And in 1982 he also replaced the New Zealand national anthem with a Cook Islands one, which he and his wife had written.
Te atua maue, ko koe rai te pū, o te pā e nua e. Agarongo mai, I tō mātou nei reo, te kapiki atu nei.
Henry was posthumously pardoned in 2023, but his downfall wasn't the only scandal in the years after the airport opening. An ambitious plan in 1987 to build a luxury resort on Rarotonga, complete with its own lagoon, was a near disaster for the nation. But at the time, it was seen as a great opportunity. The government seized on the idea with enthusiasm and underwrote the Italian project with loans of 60 million New Zealand dollars. But payments were made for work never done, contractors went bust, and workers were thrown out of the country after claims of links to the mafia. It nearly bankrupted the country, and the debt hung over the nation for years afterwards. But tourism continued to grow, and with the help of promotions like this, by 2009, visitor numbers had broken the 100,000 mark.
Kia orana, welcome to the Cook Islands. Turo oromai,
Polynesia's gentle embrace.
where you will be welcomed into a culture where tradition and the present gently entwine, where visitors are welcomed with a smile and simple pleasures are easily shared.
The vast and beautiful ocean around the islands has long been one of those simple pleasures. And on the 12th of July 2017, it was the ocean that was front and centre of another milestone in the history of the nation. Then Prime Minister Henry Puna announced a new law making the island's exclusive economic zone, almost 2 million square kilometres of the South Pacific, the world's first multi-use marine park. It's called Mare Moana, meaning sacred ocean. Marine conservationist Jackie Evans.
Actually the first attempt in the world to protect a whole ocean and then integrate all of our economic activities with conservation. I think the Mare Moana Act is actually the first act that recognises the legal rights of the ocean. In the Cook Islands we see the ocean as having a personality, so in our culture the ocean is like a mother that nurtures us and supplies us with our sustenance.
Te Mavanui continues to be the most important event in the Cook Islands calendar and a memorable treat for today's visitors. Tourism accounts for about 70% of the country's total income. It's hard to believe that all this singing and dancing was once used by islanders to praise political parties and lobby for projects on their own islands. It all changed as recently as 2002, when the Culture Secretary at the time decided the focus should instead be on unity through cultural heritage. And the current Prime Minister, Mark Brown, says the celebrations are vital for the nation.
I think it's important for us as a people to know that who we are, that we have an identity, that we have a place in this world. Small as our islands may be, we are stewards of a big part of this ocean. So it's important for us as a people that we do celebrate ourselves as Cook Islanders, that we are responsible for our own journey through life as a nation and as a people. So for me, this celebration of Constitution is an important part of our social calendar for our people. It's an important part of being able to promote and showcase our culture, not just Cook Islands culture, but our individual cultures across all of our islands. And it's an important opportunity for our people to come together as one.
Today's Cook Islands has certainly changed since 1965, Rarotonga in particular, but the warm welcome remains the same.
Kia ora. Kia ora. Kia ora. Kia ora. Kia ora.
When somebody says Kia ora to you, he is extending to you the gift of life.
Kia ora.
Kia ora. Saying to you, may you live on.
Kia ora.
Kia ora. Kia ora.
The responsibilities for the ocean that Prime Minister Brown spoke of could well be tested in the coming years, as international controversy continues about plans to mine the seabed around the Cooks for rare minerals worth billions of dollars. And climate change is an everyday reality, with some of the lowest lying islands now in serious danger. Cameron Peterson, author of the video blog Living Life Unpeeled, saw and heard the stark truth of that when he ventured into the far northern Cook Islands.
My name is Levi Walewao. I'm the mayor of Puka Puka and Nassau. All the leaders in the world, please, can you look after our paradise, because we heard the world is getting hot and the climate change is affecting us. Maybe for the big factories in the world, please, can you look after us? Because otherwise, in the next 20 to 50 years, Puka Puka will be gone because of the sea level is rising. Not really only Puka Puka, the whole Pacific. That's my message to the world.
The unspoiled beauty of these little pieces of paradise attract ever more visitors on ever more flights. But that in itself is a challenge for the future. Government, islanders, and yes, tourists too, have a responsibility to ensure all those things that make this nation so special are not damaged or destroyed by the lifeblood of tourism.
All of us have been given the authority to look after our home. All of us. When you step on this ground, you have a responsibility to look after our home. That's Manatiaki.
2025, the 60th anniversary of self-government, is another milestone in the celebration of this nation. And just as in 1965, the Cook Islands will look forward to a new chapter in its history. But with climate change, seabed mining plans, and a declining population, quite what that chapter will read like is not altogether clear. Celebration of a Nation, my personal birthday card to the Cook Islands as it marks 60 years of self-government. Details about the video version are in the notes accompanying this podcast. Join me again soon for more insights into the Cook Islands. I'm John Roberts, and that's Kukicast. Thank you for listening.
Big boy.